I take the lead of the stage here, Brian is one of our diabetes captains. He's working in the Denver community. He's racing, or training to race in the Ironman St. George Triathlon. He's not historically a triathlete, but he's really come a long way. And he's paired up with Zyler, who found our organization late. This year's Tri Buddies actually were competing in a triathlon in Panama City, Florida. Zyler was unable to make that, but he was able to join us this weekend and become one of our marathon heroes. He was given an award last night for his work in diabetes, which is certainly inspirational. So I'm going to give these two an opportunity to just share with you all their experience with Insulindependence, and then we'll just have a few closing announcements and let you all get started this week.
My name is Zyler. I was 2 years old when I was diagnosed and was starting my 10th year of living with diabetes. Good evening. I am running because I want to prove to myself and others that there are no obstacles. I have never thought of diabetes being an obstacle, and I have never let it stop me from doing something I wanted to do. I am participating in the diabetes program this year as a trialist. This has been an awesome experience for me so far. I am learning how to better control my blood glucose, how to control my means, and how much I love to eat and diabetes. This program is also teaching me the value of support, friendship, and helping others. I want to keep proving to myself and others realize that there are no obstacles in attitudes cycling diabetes. My mentor for the diabetes program is Phelps. He is an overcoming obstacle every day that is extremely important. By training to carry 4 management triathlon and reaching out to learn tackle diabetics. But I'm not only just been a great mentor, I'm more like a community manager, and I've been in business.
Nate said I had to kiss this. So, I'm used to speaking in front of folks, but I'm incredibly nervous right now. My brother's going to be here in about half an hour, and I haven't seen him in a long time. So I'm out of Denver. My story, Blair just published a documentary, so I'll tell a little bit of the story in there. It's at the beginning. It's like you have to walk on eggshells with folks, and you know, by the way, it's amazing all the frail and brittle diabetics I see in the room today. I'm sorry I'm so frail and brittle, and so are you. You know, just don't go up against me with 50 butterfly, right? But anyway, okay, I digress. My family, it's me and my 2 brothers, that's my siblings, and my mom are all type 1 diabetics. 2 of us are still here, and 2 of us are not. Now you got to understand, I'm much younger than my brothers. When I was born, my brothers were 20 and 18, same parents. God bless my parents. But I was diagnosed later on in life. I've had it for going on 7 years now. I am a sprint swimmer, and I thought it was quite humorous when I was asked to give a presentation to maybe encourage and inspire people before a marathon, half marathon. If anybody knows me, is like, why is Brian up there? He's the wrong person. So, all right, now I'm going off my notes. That's my history. When you see a guy with a beard walk in, that's Roger Phelps out of Ojai, California. It's my brother, and he works with the ADA as a national speaker. That's not Dave.
Wrong beard.
Yeah, my brother's going to be 64 tomorrow. But he works with the ADA as a national speaker. He's sponsored by Vision Service Plan. He's done video clips with Bill Nye the Science Guy on the eye and diabetes and stuff like that. So anyway, maybe when he comes in, just like stand up and yell at him or something. Say, hey Roger, or something. That'd be really cool for me. So inspire, educate, and explore, Insulindependence. For those that know me, they also know of my faith as a Christian, and these 3 words remind me of some words from a really good book that I know. It says that 2 people can accomplish more than twice as much as one. They get a better return for their labor. If one person falls, the other can reach out and help. but people who are alone when they fall are in real trouble. A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken. What do inspire, educate, and explore and these verses have in common? Community. And I think that's very powerful because diabetics oftentimes live on islands by themselves. Not the people in this room, but you know what I'm talking about. The ADA and the JDR offer great organizations making tremendous strides in medicine, trying to find a cure, things like that. But what does Insulindependence have? These are great friends of ours. These are great organizations. But we feel a void in the community of diabetics, and that void is developing an active community. Okay, I don't think anybody in this room will disagree with the fact that this is the active community. So what is a community? What does a community look like? Look around the room. This is a community. I'll bet you there are 20 people in this room I have never met that I'm friends with on Facebook. I know, I've already met like 5 of you guys. So if I'm a friend of yours on Facebook, please tell me. All right, I'm an old guy and have a bad memory. The Breakfast Blend is community. The Dawn Phenoms across the country are community. The support from this Carlsbad Marathon this year will help develop a new locomotive kids community. The communities are really strong. I read a blog from, I apologize if I'm messing this name up, Denise Ritchie out of New York, I think. I read her blog on Ironman Arizona, how she had her insulin issues with the tubing and the pump and the insulin. And her friends that were in the race and on the sidelines were giving her supplies that got her through that friggin' race. And she had just problem after problem. That is community, okay? We need each other. Community leads to relationships. In this case, powerful bonds between diabetics, where Zyler and I can text our high and low blood sugars to each other at the end of the day in a competition, right? Where Jen Davino, I don't even know where she is, can spend a couple of hours with Melissa and Zyler talking about the more advanced management of insulin with the pump. She swam with me in the pool the other day, and then she spent like a couple hours with these guys teaching them stuff. That is community. It's my youngest brother, Roger, who's going to turn 64 tomorrow, checking in on me to make sure I'm doing okay. He was on my case when he found out I was diagnosed. He's had it for more than 30 years now. Diabetics listen to other diabetics because they really know what it's like to live the diabetic life every day with no breaks. I have accountability with friends in my private life, and people like Mark, who's here today. He's going to retire from the military, go to Africa and build water wells for people. My friend Joel, my friend Steve, who was with us in St. George to do the course, my wife Pam. These are folks that I share all of my hopes, my fears, and my pains with. They pray for me and keep me accountable. Diabetics also need accountability and inspiration from other diabetics. Inspiration to run a marathon because they know 10 other diabetics who have already done a marathon and they get invited to join them. Inspiration for a sprint swimmer like me to agree to do an Ironman and get involved in the diabetic community in the easiest race course of all the Ironmans, right? Okay, that's what I was told. The invitation to these things includes the education to manage the disease through the training and accomplish their goal. I want to encourage everybody in this room to explore and ways to reach out to other diabetics and to invite them into your adventurous worlds of running, swimming, cycling, triathlons, mountain climbing, surfing, and ice fishing. And a particular experience that Melissa would like me to share is the real skill of, it's called cheesecake diving in ice fishing. So that's where you're fishing all day, you hike like a mile out at 10,000 feet, drill some holes, and 3 diabetics figure out their low. That would be Johnny Bale Moore, Zyler, and me. Mark thought he was low, but he's actually not a diabetic. But another diabetic little girl named Maddie, her mom gave us like this 3/4 of a cheesecake, and we threw it in the sled, and all she saw for about 10 minutes was butts of people head first into the back of the sled. Hands, dirty, like waxworms and fish hands, grabbing cheesecake and shoving it in our faces to get out of the oil. So these are the adventures you can share together, okay? So lead the way. You may not think that what you have have to offer is much because it's normal for you, but what is normal for you can inspire a person with diabetes to change their life. On May 7th, I will start and hopefully finish Ironman St. George with my courageous diabetic teammates from across the country. For me, the victory is in the process and getting the benefits of a buddy like Zyler. Truly, I know a lot of my teammates, they had a goal of doing Ironman. I never did. This will probably be the last time I ever run over 20 miles because I literally have structural problems with running. But I'm doing this because of the impact I can have on the Rocky Mountain region and other diabetics. People reached out to me, I want to reach out to others, and I want you guys to reach out to other people in the areas that you can. Take a chance, ask people, get involved. I really enjoy meeting and caring for new friends like John and Maureen Moore and the new life that's coming to them. And hopefully activating the next wave of people with diabetes to get out and dominate their disease. Thank you.